Hello guys, this is PushDustIn with Source Gaming, and joining me today is Nintendon.
Hello, PushDustIn from Sauce Gaming.
And also Liam Robertson.
Hi, I don't have a meme prepared.
It's okay. And today I brought these guys on to do a rumor and news catch-up for Smash on Switch. These guys are the best in the business.
Aww.
Okay. You said it, not me.
So the first piece of news that kind of exploded recently was that there are 4 Smash amiibos with CPSIA certificates. And it's rumored that 2 of those certificates belong into a Corn amiibo.
Right.
Based on Echoes being leaked early and the fact that there is Corn amiibo data in that game. So do you guys believe that?
Oh, well, you're asking the biggest Fire Emblem fan in the world. I don't think so, honestly, and I will tell you why. If so, why didn't they do this with Robin? It doesn't necessarily make sense to me. And Robin was a way more popular character than Corrin is. Corrin is pretty good in Smash Brothers, don't get me wrong, but as far as Fire Emblem protagonists go, I don't think he or she was that great of a character.
Well, I don't really have much of an opinion on this, but I would counter what you're saying by, just to play devil's advocate. The Robin amiibo came out at a time when kind of amiibos were we didn't have a great measure of how successful they were going to be. So I could see them being kind of conservative, sort of reserved with making too many and, not going overboard and making like an amiibo for each like different gender, So I could see them kind of holding that back, and now they know amiibo is successful. They are rolling out 2 genders, and they're doing that with Corrin, where they didn't do that with Robin, because I think that makes sense, does it not? I mean,
it certainly does, but it's also amiibo are more on the down low, and they already mentioned it in the financial reports as well. So I would expect them to still be a bit conservative in that fashion.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out in my head why it might be that they would do this. I mean, I certainly wouldn't put it past Nintendo, because they are certainly kind of milking the amiibo train right now, understandably, because it's been such a success for them.
One argument that they might be releasing 2 Corn amiibo is because of all the Fire Emblem content that's coming out within the next year.
Sure.
And so it makes sense to try to push those amiibo right now.
Yeah, of course.
Because those games will have compatibility.
I mean, it certainly does. At the same time, it feels sort of weird to preface it that way, because at the end of the day, I feel that they could just achieve this with a singular amiibo, but if they want to do it, sure, I will happily buy both of them. I definitely will. On a side note, I think it's also a big shame that another 3DS game as big as Fire Emblem Echo is already leaked pre-release.
Yeah. It's a whole different story, but it's pretty sad, because it was 17 days before it was even released.
17 days? How do you even manage that, though?
Is this the one on the 3DS?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
And it's already emulated, so you can download it.
Like it's not even out in Europe or in America yet, so there are not even review copies out in English, but somehow the Japanese version already leaked.
Damn.
Yep.
Oh well.
It's pretty insane.
Kind of related to the amiibo is Laura Kate Dale reported that the remaining Smash amiibo would be delayed until the Smash report was formally announced.
Did she?
That seems like a no-duh.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially since we haven't heard anything about the remaining Smash amiibo. We know that Bayonetta exists. We've seen kind of pictures of it on the Platinum Games blog, but we still don't have an official date.
I heard behind the scenes that Square Enix Figure Arts, the arm that makes figurines at Square Enix, was pretty upset that Square Enix greenlit the Cloud amiibo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were really unhappy about it.
That's interesting. Yeah. I could, I don't know when this stuff is going to drop. But, I am just kind of making theories here because my knowledge of this is limited and it's not something that I've kept up with a lot. But it just makes sense that they would drop these sort of things near the games. I could definitely see the Bayonetta amiibo being of more significance. I mean, we know that Platinum Games has Switch dev kits. It totally would make sense if they're working on Bayonetta 3 or whatever, and that's why they're waiting to drop it because, I don't know. I just think that these, the core and amiibo have some greater significance. They're going to work with other games, and I could see the same thing happening with Bayonetta too.
Yeah, I think from all three of those, I think that most people would be still looking forward to a Cloud amiibo. Because who doesn't want like inexpensive merchandise of Square Enix characters?
Yeah.
And Square Enix is supporting the Switch pretty well, so maybe the Cloud amiibo would have functionality with those games as well.
You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then going off of that, there's the rumor that Switch is getting 2 Smash games. One of them is Melee on the GameCube Virtual Console, which EuroGamer and Source Gaming reported on.
Yeah.
So do you guys think Melee Virtual Console is still coming?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's even no doubt there. I think enough people have reported on it to begin with, but also at the same time, and this is the more important factor, it just makes sense to do it at this point.
Yeah.
And I feel that all the stars are currently aligning. We know that Nintendo European Research and Development is doing a bunch of the Virtual Console stuff right now. And this is not even a rumor. They bought an N64 drive.
Yeah.
Which I heard like multiple times that they did that.
Yeah.
And even somebody sent me the confirmation for it, so it's not even a question that they're working on something there. But it's, the big problem is when. I feel that it has been really silent with Nintendo regarding the Virtual Console, and they might be waiting until the summer till they have more like details on the online service. But at the same time, just release a couple of games, and there's still a sizable gap between your first-party games.
I think it's going to come sooner than we expect, and they will just drop. They'll drop it quite suddenly. I think it will come before E3. The rollout will begin. I don't know when, to be honest. Like, the weird thing is nobody knows when this stuff is going to come out. Normally we have some kind of rough idea, but what I keep hearing, I've heard this from Daan, I've heard this from other people, is that Europe is just sort of waiting in limbo for this stuff, to be told when to drop this stuff, which is very strange. And so I can only assume, I've heard a lot of this stuff is done. The first 5 games or so are ready to go for the GameCube Virtual Console. So I could just see them. I think there are going to be some delays coming up over the next few months of first-party Nintendo stuff, so I could see them sort of padding out the lineup by dropping some GameCube games before E3, and then around E3, really, I think around E3 would be a good time to kind of roll out more Virtual Console stuff. Maybe get Mother 3 on there finally. That would be a cool announcement to drop. Say, oh, by the way, you can get it now. Again, that's just a theory, but I think we are closer to it than we might think. I think.
Yeah, I think. I heard that ARMS is not coming until June, so they would definitely need something directly after Mario Kart comes out. And Mario Kart will drag the online people and the people in tabletop mode really far. At the same time, they will need something else that is not Mario Kart.
Yeah, and I believe Splatoon 2 was also slated for a late summer release. Is that correct?
Likely, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure, because the last time I heard about that game was still in active development.
So, going off of that, the other Smash game that the Switch is getting is a port of Smash for Wii U, and it will feature limited new content, much like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I know Liam, you and I both have separately reported this.
Yeah.
So do you think that is still very likely that there'll be limited new content?
Yeah, I do. I at the end of the day, I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I think you and I both heard the same kind of things from different people. That it was going to be like around about 2 characters, but I think one thing to consider is that we heard that at a point at which the game is not done. There could be more, and I could see them sort of releasing Melee around the summer on the Virtual Console, and that is a way to tide us over until either the very end of the year for the Smash 4 release or next year, because they might want to put some extra time into it and make it have a bit more content, a bit more added content than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has, because that just basically has, in terms of new content, it's just the battle mode and some new characters, and that's it.
Well, just the battle mode is still a significant addition to that game.
Yeah, I know, but I think with Smash they may want to, I know how they always Smash. Whenever they launch a new Smash game, it always has a significant amount of new content. And I just can't see them sort of rolling out with just a couple characters and not
calling it a day.
Yeah, I could see them go at least adding a fair bit of new levels or some new modes or something. I get the impression,
or they just add the 3DS levels.
Yeah, and so I can't see Smash 4 coming this year for that reason. I think they're going to want to spend a bit more time on it, but I don't know.
What I heard was that it would come in the first year, so it would make sense if it even slips into the first couple of months of 2018.
Right.
But I could also it would make a significant impression if it would come out at the end of this year.
Yeah. We have Mario Odyssey also coming out before the holidays.
Yeah. You don't want to. I think that's their big holiday title. There's no denying that. I think they will announce some games. Well, we know they're going to announce stuff like Pokemon, which will come out by the end of the year. So I think there are more big announcements that will come out before the end of the year. But for some reason, I just can't see them doing Smash as well. I think what Daan said was right, that they're more likely to drop that within the first months of 2018.
To be honest, we're never sure about this, and Nintendo does want to have multiple games during a holiday season. The only exception was last year, but let's be honest, last year was not also really all that good. With the amount of games that were coming out, the Pokemon was the only game carrying it. In previous years, multiple games were carrying it. Even in its worst year, 2015. At least 3 games were still carrying it. So I honestly think that Switch will have a solid holiday. They need to have something besides Mario. So 1 or 2 titles are likely appear next to it.
Well, by that time you're going to have Fire Emblem Warriors, Pokemon Stars, whatever that ends up being called, Mario.
I think Fire Emblem Warriors is in September title though.
Yeah, I know, but still, these are coming in the second half of the year, and also you'll have people catching up on that, and Zelda. I think by the holidays, the Switch will have a pretty decent lineup, but I could definitely see them announcing one more. I don't know if it'd be Smash, but hey, there you go.
Yeah, well, I honestly think they need to have the solid holiday that they used to do. So 3 games during that November period would be December period would be likely.
So what game? 2 games in addition to Mario would you put in that slot? If you just total speculation.
Right. They need. Okay, so the last couple of years before that, it's really polar opposites. So you had Super Mario 3D World on Wii U, but then you had a Zelda game, Link Between Worlds on 3DS. So they need really polar opposites of that. And what's the polar opposite of a Mario? It's likely an RPG, so likely it might be Pokemon. But it could also be, and haha, they will definitely not do this, but hey, they have said that it likely will. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 could also be it. You never know.
Yeah. Well, they keep putting that down for like this year on all the release date things. But yeah.
Yeah, but if they're so cocky and confident, let me show that you do it. But it's I'm not like 100% on that. It feels like Monolith Soft let games slip like multiple times. But if they're saying it's possible, then just show it to me that they will.
I'd be extremely surprised if that comes out this year in any territory other than Japan.
Yeah, honestly think it will be Pokemon instead of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. But again, if it's possible, then surprise me.
Yeah.
So on one hand, it's been rumored that Smash for Switch has been in development as early as January 2016. So a lot of people are expecting a lot of new content. On the other hand, they might be just sitting on it.
Yeah.
That's very well possible as well, yeah.
Like it's if they did just do a straight port with limited new content, then that's something that can be done by a smaller team within Bandai Namco.
Yeah. For I know that same team was wrapping up Tekken 7 for consoles. And they're about done with it now, so they're likely returning to Smash now.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what's happening on that front, but hey, Tekken 7 is coming out just before E3, so it had to be done just before now, so I'm not sure what they're waiting on for anything else to do.
Yeah, and then also there's a lot of other rumor reports that we haven't seen. Mario Maker, I think, was rumored for a long time. Xenoblade X was also rumored.
Mario Maker is likely still coming. That game is still really popular, and especially around the Mario community. The Mario community still does live streams of that game, makes their own levels, do these really weird challenges. So I think that Nintendo would be beneficial for Nintendo to have that audience in there. I'm not sure about the status of Xenoblade. I personally never heard about Xenoblade, if I'm being really honest with you. I'm not sure if that's even real or not, because honestly I have not heard that before. Because
I'm not sure who originally reported it. I forgot.
It was Laura Kate.
I think it's Laura Kate Dale, yeah. Okay. Honestly, I feel that Monolith is too busy with Chronicles 2.
Yeah. So my opinion on this is the Splatoon 1, I think, was real, but that just became Splatoon 2. And I think that's evident. That's evident in what Splatoon 2 is like. It's such an incremental upgrade. Mario Maker is definitely real. I know people who've seen it. I think I know people who are working on it, who are dropping hints about that. Xenoblade, I don't know anything about that. I'm not even sure if that's real. But if Laura Kate says it is, maybe it is. And Smash is obviously, I think that's real as well.
Yeah.
Okay. The last thing is Sakurai's column on the Switch, and basically Sakurai was very surprised about a lot of things with the Switch. He was very surprised about the fact that it was region free, as long as the form and the price of it, he said.
Yeah.
So there's some speculation that column might be evidence that he's not working on a Smash for Switch.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that. I don't know why it doesn't seem creatively beneficial for him to be on that if they're doing a port of it. I mean, I could see him wanting to oversee it, but just, I think we've reached a point where we've just got to let him do other things. And he's been on that game for years, and I just can't see Nintendo being like strapping it to him again and be like, after everything he went through to get the fourth one made, being like, oh, by the way, you have to spend a couple more years doing this. Just doesn't seem like something Nintendo would do. I think they have more respect for him than to do that. So I've always said that I don't think he'll have a big role in this. I think it'll be some other producer, maybe.
Likely, very likely. He might be still involved with like character testing, for example, but most of the stuff can be done without him.
Yeah, and when Brawl was ported to the 3DS and the Wii U, in the beginning of Smash for Wii U and Smash 3DS development, it was done when Sakurai was still working on Kid Icarus Uprising.
Right.
So doesn't need to be there if it's just really a straight port.
Sure.
Right.
Okay, well, I think that basically covers all the news. Is there anything that I missed?
Not that I can think of.
No, you haven't missed anything.
Okay, and do you have any final thoughts before we plug our stuff?
Well, my final thoughts is Nintendo release more stuff for the Switch, because I really like it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and the last year was pretty miserable for a Wii U owner.
Yeah, there were a couple of good games in 2016. Like my favorite Wii U game was Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and that came out last year. Go figure. But I liked not Sticker Star. I liked
Paper Jam?
Color Splash.
Oh,
why
yes.
did you say Paper Jam? Come on, man, that's not really a fun game. But I did enjoy Color Splash as well. But outside of that, I can't even remember what I played for Wii U.
Yeah. I'm loving my Switch. I've got it like right next to me right now. I've been playing Graceful Explosion Machine.
Graceful Explosion Machine is so good.
Yeah, man, it's so good.
Yeah.
Like every week since launch, I've bought a new game for my Switch, and the people I see like whining about there not being any games, like you're just not looking hard enough. Like go out there and try some Graceful Explosion Machine, some Snake Pass. You know, next week we're gonna get Mr. Shifty. Hopefully that'll be good. There's always something interesting cropping up.
And the Jackbox Party Pack free.
Yeah, that's true. I want to get that too.
I have like 34 games on my Switch.
What?
Yeah. I only missed two Japanese games that I had no interest in.
All right, so you're like harvesting them from every region, are you?
Yeah.
Damn, I've not gone quite that far yet.
Yeah, but that's how invested I currently already am in the Switch. Go figure. And I'm one of the biggest Nintendo fans ever. So.
Yeah, understandable.
All right, well, I think this wraps up our discussion. So, Don, where can people find you?
You can find me at Twitter at Nintendan, as NINTNDAAN. You can find all the links to all the stuff that I do there. Go Nintendo World Report, NF Magazine, my YouTube channel, Nintendo1, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay, and how about Liam?
I'm at Doctor_Cupcakes on Twitter. That's Doctor the full word. And I'm on YouTube at youtube.com/LiamRProductions. You can just Google Liam Robertson if you like. That's my name, and I'm sure you'll find my stuff. I talk about games that weren't released and cancel games and rumors and stuff. And I also have a Patreon where I do like a podcast and release like exclusive news and that kind of thing.
I support his Patreon. Go support it too.
Thank you.
And I'm PushDustIn. You can follow me by subscribing to this channel. I'm also PushDustIn on Twitter. So thank you guys again for joining this discussion.
Yeah, no problem.
No worries, yeah.
Hope you guys have a great day.
Alright, you too.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.